Okay, what kind of problems you had?
I
Why
would
your mom
say
and you decided to make this path with us?
because before I was very like quiet and calm, but in a way where like I would kind of almost I would still have a little bit of energy, but I wouldn't be able to like motivate myself or to I wouldn't use any self-talk, um, or I would not um, plan out any of my points. Like I would just play freely. I would have a main strategy, but I wouldn't uh, kind of go point by point, or I would just rush into the future, into the past, um, which would mess my head up a lot, I guess I could say. But I would say those are probably the main things that damaged how I played before. My attitude's a lot better. Um, but before I would just kind of think about whether I would win or lose. Like that was it. I wouldn't really think about just trying my best or to keep the ball in the court. Like I just wouldn't really think when I played about anything except for the future or the past.
And what was your main problem?
It was mainly that I just kind of couldn't motivate myself, and I couldn't focus on each point. I wouldn't think as organized. Like I wouldn't really visualize anything. I wouldn't plan out my points.
And could you handle the detention?
Yeah, before I still do it a little bit, but it's not as bad. Um, kind of like we talked about before, kind of when I am about to face a player that's ranked top 10 or whatever, I would just only think about that and I would get nervous and the match would go by like 06:06 in 10 minutes. But
Okay.
yeah. What changed the most was just kind of I guess I would say I'm more aware of what's going on in my matches. Like if I'm down love 3 and I'm starting to maybe get nervous or I'm starting to doubt myself, I can kind of fix it really fast with my self-talk. I I feel like my everything I do on court is more control. Like I feel more in control. Um, I don't feel as anxious. I can handle pressure a lot better. I can take the initiative. Before I
Wow.
didn't.
How about your attitude on the court?
Yeah, that was the next thing I would say. My attitude is a lot better. It's like completely different than before. I mean, one of my main problems that I was always told was kind of um, the way I would practice was I was trying my best, obviously, but my like intensity level wasn't kind of there. Like I didn't really think about what I wouldn't really think about anything. Um, in matches, I wouldn't motivate myself. I wouldn't scream. I wouldn't yell. Um, I wouldn't run for every ball. But now, now I'm pretty much all those things are a lot better, and they're like the complete opposite of before.
Can you tell me about your game identity? Now you know exactly the kind of player you are, so you don't have, most of the time you don't have doubts. So when you enter the competition, you know what to do, right?
Yes, I do. I mean, sometimes I can't play the same with every player, but I still at the same time I kind of have to play my game because that's what I'm good at, so I can use it to my advantage. But depending on the player, my opponent, I have to kind of change it.
Great. Great, Ellie. Thank you very much. For me, it's all clear.